day and welcome to the first installment of the University of Guam's Triton TV News. I'm your host, Marisha Mariano.
And I'm Alexandra Paulino. On today's episode, we're visiting the Isla Center for the Arts to take a look at UOG's undergraduate art exhibit. The colorful Indian tradition, Holi Festival, makes its debut on Guam, and we got the scoop. And after that, we stopped by the UOG Triton farm to find out their latest developments in sustainability.
Before we get into today's feature stories, we visit the Guam dance community to see how things are shaking up and how they continue to impress and grow among their cultural groups on the island's contemporary scene. The team strives to spread dance awareness and positivity throughout the island. Last Thursday marked the second performance at GCC's biannual festival. Performing for GCC allowed them to give back to the institution that helped them thrive in the industry. Recently founded in 2016, GCC aims the push of boundaries of creativity. Co-director Robbie Trong brings new meaning to unity.
A lot of these guys have danced for other, groups beforehand, or have been other parts of the community, like the freestyle community. So we wanted to just bring that all together and kind of turn it into just what we feel like the dance community should be.
The team continuously works hard to find new ways to entertain the audience. Co-director Romeo Poblete hopes to inspire the next generation of dancers.
I want everyone to really find their art and express life and love, and just to really live much more than what they could really do for right now. So please make that change your life, make things better for you, and just enjoy and love it at the same time.
Thanks, Marisha. Now let's check in on the Japan Club of Guam as they held their 20th Arts and Crafts Fair at the Nikko Hotel, showcasing traditional and contemporary Japanese displays of arts. Artists of various disciplines take the center stage at the Arts and Crafts Fair hosted by the Japan Club of Guam. This marked the 20th year of the fair's run as it continued to promote Japan's arts and crafts while welcoming the locals on Guam to join in. Guam Community College Japanese professor Doreen Bloss took time away from her traditional cloth folding booth to speak on how this event brings people together.
It's a good opportunity for the Japanese community to come and invite the local community.
Among those in attendance was the current Lieutenant Governor, Ray Tenorio. He took this stage to praise the Japan Club of Guam's efforts and to promote the island's diversity.
Every person in this island, you are part of Guam. You make our island strong. It doesn't matter where you come from. We're all part of the island of Guam.
Moving into our first feature story, the Isla Center for the Arts featured an array of artwork from talented undergraduate students from the University of Guam. Triton TV News reporter Sierra Regis takes on a journey to explore these creative masterpieces.
It's a full house at the University of Guam's undergraduate art exhibit opening night, as fixated eyes and chatter fill the Isla Center for the Arts. Food, refreshments, and live art entertainment were available to guests while they immersed themselves in the creative and expressive atmosphere. The live art session allowed guests the opportunity to watch students create paintings on the spot. For art and secondary education major Dominique Lacoste, this is her first time ever painting live art.
I actually based this one, I thought of a lot of the pictures I was taking because a lot of my best pictures are actually with floral works. There's several flowers I have here that are mostly the background ones that I actually used that are references from my recent pictures.
Lacoste is one of many artists featured in this month's exhibit. The gallery display varied from sketches, acrylics, stippling, watercolor, ceramics, and more.
Not every student's artwork passes the selection process. The committee received hundreds of submissions, but selected only 91 pieces from a total of 30 artists.
Exhibit coordinator Dr. Velma Yamashita revealed the fundamentals of the selection process.
Any student here at the University of Guam is invited to submit works of art up to 10, and then the fine arts faculty members, Dr. Keshkish, Richard Castro, and Louis Rifkowitz, they come together and we lay out all the works in the gallery and they select the best ones from the students.
In order to sell their artworks, the students must use their own pictures as inspiration to keep originality. The exhibit did not have a specific theme, which allowed artists to think outside of the box. As for Lacoste, art is her form of escape.
What inspires me is surrounding based circumstances, and I actually base a lot of my art around Alice in Wonderland, just because it usually helps me get out of my slump because I really like bright colors.
Dr. Yamashita invites everyone to view the upcoming senior exhibit beginning in May. This is Sierra Reyes, Triton TV News.
The Indian tradition known as Holi Festival has been practiced as far back as the 4th century and makes the welcoming of the spring vibrant colors. Recently, the Holi Festival, an event associated with the tradition, made its debut in Guam, and Triton TV News reporter Matthew Miguel explores the hype as well as some of the concerns that led into the popular event.
Guam's first ever Holi Festival kicked off with a bang. The event featured musical acts, games for all ages, and food for festival goers looking to unwind and just have a good time. Holi is a Hindu festival celebrated in India that represents the coming of spring. The celebrating of the event dates as far back as the 4th century. The recently formed social media advertising group, One Punch Media, was in charge of promotion for the event. I sat down with the heads of the new company to get some idea of their process and insights leading up to an event of this size. Co-founder and Director of Business Development, Dave Macapinlack, expressed how the community responded.
Our role was to really do a campaign to hype up the event. When people start messaging and tagging us and tagging their friends, trying to win free tickets, it was really amazing to see and exciting because here we are, we're putting on this event, we're promoting this event, and people are getting behind it and the support of the community is there.
Although the event was considered a success by the marketing team at One Punch Media, some people have expressed their concern with the event's cultural appropriation of the Indian culture. Co-founder and marketing director of One Punch Media, Ed Suarez, believes the essence of the Holi tradition promotes otherwise.
The core of the Holi tradition is love, peace, and just coming together, right? So that's the main foundation of the tradition, because it's the coming of spring. Let's celebrate. Colors are coming, and it's all for a good cause. Peace, love, and also donating to the Indian Temple of Guam, which is the main beneficiary of this particular event.
With the involvement of the Indian-based production company Bombay House Productions and the event itself being a non-profit festival with proceeds going to Guam's local Indian temple, the idea that this event is culturally appropriating Indian culture could be dismissed, right? Well, the only way we thought to find out the answer to this question is by asking a member of the Indian community. University of Guam professor and a member of the Indian community, Arun Swami shed some light on the Holi tradition.
It's a regional harvest festival. I'm from the south. We don't celebrate Holi. Holi is now spread throughout India. It's become kind of something that people all over India do. So it's no less cultural appropriation for someone in southern India to do than it is for someone to bring it over here. You know, if you really want to get rigorous about it, then you basically should never, ever, ever practice any cultural practice outside of this original setting. But that's not the way culture is.
According to the guys at One Punch Media, people that attended the event expressed their desire for the event to return soon. With the event being a popular attraction on the island and the dispelling of the negative cultural appropriation criticisms, it's safe to say that the Holi Festival will make its return to usher in spring next year.
After the break, we'll head to UOG's Triton farm to see how they make waste work for them. So don't go anywhere.
My name is Erica Pangilinan, and I am a graduate of the University of Guam. When I finished high school, I had the opportunity to attend other colleges, but I knew Guam was the only place I wanted to be. Growing up, family meant everything to me. UOG helped me realize that great things can start right here at home. Having the advantage of being near my family and still getting a valuable education was having the best of both worlds. As a wife and mother, my journey to graduation was challenging, but luckily, I had an amazing support team. My husband, parents, professors, and my fellow Tritons were there to help and encourage me and making me feel like I belong to a family at UOG. It allowed me to gain many experiences and skills while building professional bonds with my peers. Now that I've earned my bachelor's degree, I'm proud to say that I am and will always be a UOG Triton.
My name is Kojay Kichicho, and I'm a student at the University of Guam. UOG isn't what I thought it would be when I was growing up. When I was in high school, all I kept hearing was, you need to go off island. You can't do the things that you want to do here on Guam. There are no good opportunities here. I challenge those opinions. I am part of a generation that defies the idea that nothing big comes from a small island. My generation dreams and achieves. Many of the business leaders, public servants, teachers, nurses, artists, and thinkers that are now revitalizing our island came from UOG. Now, I'm looking forward to completing my homegrown education and going out into the professional world saying, I'm from the University of Guam.
Welcome back to Triton TV News. Local farming is all the craze these days. Alexandria Paulino gives us inside look at UOG Triton Farm, the perfect example of how farming can help Guam and the environment.
Jessica Ningata is on her way to her favorite place, UOG Triton Farms. She looks forward to Mondays where she manages this 4-acre farm.
I love working here. It's stress-free for the most part. I really love farming, so being outside and in nature is always fun. I love waking up for work. Some people are like, oh, Mondays. I'm like, yes, Mondays. I'm ready to go back to work and start my day.
Her day is filled feeding the chickens, picking some calamansi, and tending to the crops. This farm here uses a hydroponic system which grows plants in water instead of soil. They go a step further by raising fish along with growing plants. All of this is engineered in a way where both the fish and the plants help to sustain each other. The fish are raised in large tanks with over 100 fish per tank. These fish create a large amount of waste which is pumped out of the tank and into the plant area. The plants use this waste as a form of fertilizer, cleaning the water while also feeding themselves. This fresh water is then pumped back to the fish tanks, creating a cycle of sustainability. But the sustainability of Triton Farms is not limited to the hydroponic system. For instance, what you see in my hand is duckweed, an unintentional byproduct of the hydroponic system. Instead of letting this go to waste, it's used as a supplement for the chicken feed. The chicken waste is then used to fertilize the calamansi and breadfruit trees. With all of this, Triton Farms is able to show local sustainability in action. Having more sustainable agriculture on Guam is important for both the health of the island and the economy. By importing more foods, we leave ourselves more susceptible to invasive species that can disrupt our local ecosystem. In addition, Guam imports more than $20 million of food each month. This is a large amount of money leaving the local economy that could be kept with local sustainable agriculture. That's the hope for this Triton farmer, Matt Terlahi.
And then hopefully it becomes to where we don't need off-island things.
But farms are not the only way Guam can become more sustainable. People can take it into their own hands to grow food for themselves and each other.
At home, I do like home gardening with my kids. My kids are very active, a part of our growing at home. We do little seasonal crops and trees. We have a bunch of fruit trees on our yard, and also exchange produce with our neighbors and our family.
Jessica and Triton Farms show how Guam can become more agriculturally sustainable. I am Alexandria Paulino for Triton News. In our last story, we take a look into Guam's badlands and the state of our coral reefs. Poor land use practices such as arson and uncontained off-roading create sore brown spots known as badlands. Sediment easily washes downstream into the bay during heavy rains. If left unrestored, our coral reefs will decline. 10 years ago, 50,000 acacia trees were planted to alleviate the effects of erosion. Michael Brzezinski and his team are measuring the progress of this effort.
What we're doing is going in and looking to see if these trees are surviving, and if they're surviving, is it preventing erosion or sediment runoff into Seti Bay, which overall is going to improve coral health and the health of the watershed.
Team member Matthew Putnam explains the importance of reefs for Guam.
And definitely, absolutely, we need coral reefs. It sustains our ecosystem, it sustains the land, it's part of Guam's culture, it's part of Guam's traditions. then we can apply these methods or apply these surveying techniques to other watersheds to help them become more successful.
And that's our show. Thank you for watching the first ever Triton TV News, and we hope to see you next time. I'm Marisha Mariano.
And I'm Alexandra Paulino.